You know, like how in Japan, everyone waits in line, they make a line, everything is proper. I didn't know this, but Greeks, dude, the boat comes, animals. And the Greeks like, hello, sorry. And they're like, excuse me. And they're just cutting everyone. And the thing is, you're like, well, I'm not going to wait in line like a stupid. I'm going to act like an animal like them. So you start just pushing old ladies, kicking children.
Oh, that's so sad.
Take a baby, you throw him in the water, like, it's me, pasticcio, let's go. I took another ferry, and everyone's waiting in line to get out, right? And then I hear, excuse me. It's just a guy and his wife, and he's like, we want to go out. Greek people start talking but we're going also waiting to go out. Like, I couldn't understand what they were saying, but I couldn't understand what they're like. And the guy just wanted to leave first. So he's like, excuse me, with his head up high. The arrogance. Excuse me. Just cutting, getting in. Oh, it was insane. Welcome back, everybody. If this is your first time watching, please click subscribe. Welcome to a new episode of the Good Night Podcast.
Yeah.
We are back in Montreal.
Yeah, we're happy to be back.
Yeah, I think.
Happy.
Look how happy Gabe is to be back.
I'm alright. I like being back, actually. It's not bad.
It's good to be back.
Yeah.
I'm still in
You're still in daydream.
I'm still daydreaming that I'm back in Montreal. We're recording today live in front of the biosphere. If you're listening, the biosphere built for Expo 67.
I got a biosphere for you already.
Gabe got a couple of biospheres over there, if you know what I'm saying.
A couple of domes in my sack. Alright.
Expo 67. Apparently, the structure was covered with acrylic and it caught fire, so that's why we only have metal.
So it was actually a sphere at one point.
I guess so, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, the architect is called Buckminster Fuller. He's the one he's like, that's why he uses triangles, because a triangle is a quite solid
Oh yeah, that triangle. It's pretty cool, actually.
piece of geometry.
Montreal's
shape.
obsessed with circles. We have like 3
Yeah.
circles in Montreal. We have the one by Delhi Planet. What's that circle?
Oh, the circle?
Yeah.
I don't know the
it's
name. It's
called
just a circle. Yeah.
There's a julep.
The orange julep, the
What's a
orange
julep?
ball.
Is that mean circle in French?
No, I don't know. I don't know what the hell is a julep.
And there's a circle. And then there's other circles, I think. Metro is a circle. Metro logo is a circle.
So the Olympic Stadium looks like a tiny penis with a big ball sack.
Yeah.
Doesn't it look like a... You know when...
Like a thin dick.
Do you take a bath?
I have.
When I take a bath and I look at my wee-wee in the bath and everything is floating, it looks like the Olympic Stadium.
It's like
the balls.
and like
just
you know,
the
like
penises.
where the elevators go up. That's like
The
crabs,
wee-wee.
crabs or whatever.
The wee-wee.
Yeah.
It's good to be back. So, just to keep everyone up to date with what happened. So, Gabriel and I, we went to Berlin, as you guys know. And after Berlin, I was supposed to say goodbye to Gabe and then go to Egypt.
Yeah. How was Egypt?
Since 2006. As some of you know, I was supposed to go to Egypt. I went to Egypt. I didn't get to see the pyramids because I went to save a relationship.
Yeah.
It didn't work out, so I didn't get to see the pyramids. And ever since,
Still,
my heart aches to see the pyramids of
really
Giza.
want to see the pyramids and the shisha.
And this year, I'm like, finally, I bought the ticket. I booked the hotels.
Wow.
I got everything. I did my research.
Did you?
I was ready. I did. So,
It's the mummy's curse, man.
it's the mummy's curse. That's what Guillaume calls it. So I jump on a plane. I say bye to Gabe. Layover in Athens. I get out of the first plane. I'm on my way to the second plane. I get there and they're like, I'm like, hi, I'm going to Cairo. They're like, my friend, do you have the visa? I'm like, no, I'll buy it there. It's like, no, you have to buy it online. They changed the rule now. You have to buy the visa online. I'm like, okay. She's like, don't worry. You have time. Go upstairs. Use the Wi-Fi. Buy the visa and we can go. So I go upstairs. I open the website that sells visas for Egypt. Every single website looked like they're trying to scam me. I didn't trust any website.
Yeah, they all look like fake government websites. You know?
They all look like fake government websites. I'm looking and I see, like, you know, when you scroll the countries, you expect to see like United States number 1, Canada number 2, and then you have
Zimbabwe or whatever.
Zimbabwe and, you know, all the and B's
all the
and
A,
C.
yeah,
but you know, America and Canada.
Afghanistan.
So anyway, I'm
Croatia.
scrolling. Like, where's Canada? I don't find Canada. Then I Google, like, can I buy my visa? And Google's telling me, yeah, you can buy your visa when you land. No worries. So I go back downstairs. I'm like, hey, lady, it says I can buy my visa when I land. She's like, no, you have to buy your visa before. I'm like, I can't find Canada on the website. She's like, okay, go speak with that man. And there's an Egyptian man. I go see the Egyptian man. He's like, hello? I'm like, yes, you know. He's like, oh, you have to buy your visa online. I'm like, I can't find Canada. He's like, oh, you're from Canada. I'm like, yes. He's like, oh,
What's wrong with Canada?
Canada, you have to buy the visa from the embassy. I'm
Why?
like, what? Since when? He's like, it's very new. So here's the thing. Google was not up to date. So Google was telling you it's so recent. Google, it takes time to update the. And I was watching YouTube videos, and all the YouTube videos were saying like, oh, you can buy it online, or you can buy it when you land. You can buy it online, but all the videos are like from last year.
No.
So I'm like, okay, well, what can I do? He's like, well, you can't unless you have your Lebanese passport. I'm like, I don't have my Lebanese passport. He's like, sorry, buddy.
So they let a guy from Lebanon stroll in, but not a nice Canadian Timbits. No, because why? We're dangerous.
I think
Trudeau's.
here's my theory.
Trans, whatever.
I think Canada and Egypt are having a little fight. A little relationship fight, and they're like, you know what, dude? It's easier for North Korean to visit Egypt than. So I go now, and then I go to the actual website and I visit it, and like, yes, it takes 3 weeks to get the visa, instead of just buying it online. You understand?
It's probably ruining a lot of people's vacations because people were like, what?
A bunch of on Reddit, people are complaining, well, like, since when is Canada? Like, usually Canadians were welcome everywhere.
Everywhere, yeah.
And they're like, no, and people are getting denied. If you work for the government, you get denied visiting to a visit to Egypt. If you're a cop, you get denied visit to Egypt. So anyway, so he's like, you can't board the plane. Do you have all your luggage? I'm like, yes. He's like, sorry, buddy. And the guy is so funny. The guy was angry but empathizing at the same time. He's like, you didn't do your research. You come all the way from Canada. You didn't look it up. I'm like, I did. I know. I Googled it. I watched a couple of YouTube videos. I didn't know.
Yeah.
He's like, you come so far away.
He's like, yeah,
so
but I was
far
in
away.
Berlin.
So anyways, I go to the airline. I'm like, hey, I wasn't allowed to board. Can I postpone it to Monday? I'm going to go visit. Because here's the thing. I landed in Athens on Saturday. Saturday, Sunday, the embassy is closed.
Oh.
So I had to stay in Athens for 2 days.
Oh, no.
At least. And then Monday, hopefully I would get the... So anyway, I'm like, you know what? At the beginning, I was stressed. Then I'm like, oh, but this is like a new fun stress. Because what's the worst that could happen? I just get stuck in Greece.
Yeah.
Boo-hoo. It's not the end of the world.
No.
Like, as long as you have money and your health is not a concern, all these problems are not that crazy.
Yeah.
So anyway, so...
Your airline let you postpone it?
So I spoke with a lady. I explained. She's like, okay, I'll put in a note that you can get a free ticket from Athens to Cairo, but you need to come with a visa. I'm not just going to give it to you like this. I'm like, okay.
Okay.
So I book a hostel, heart of Athens.
How was the hostel there?
It's great. It was fantastic.
Really?
Yeah, it's a brand new building.
Okay, good. I just imagine
I book 5-star hostels. Even if it's a hostel.
I know, but I just imagine
hostels.
Athens in my head is like...
Chaos.
Yeah, the most screwed up looking...
Oh, my God.
Hell on earth.
It's
hot.
crazy.
It's like worse than any Arab
country. It is so hot.
It's just hell.
It's insanely
Greeks
hot.
are angry. It's just like
nothing
boiling
makes
lava.
sense. The metro is never on time.
Yeah.
It is so humid.
Oh,
I cannot
God.
explain
Yeah,
how hot it is in Athens.
Brutal.
Brutal hot. Cars. Drivers are insane in Athens. I take the metro. I land. I get out of the metro. And I'm in the heart of Athens.
Wow.
Like the heart. Because I wanted a central location, also not far from the embassy. So my hostel was 15 minutes away from the embassy. 10 minutes away from the Acropolis. I'm like, perfect.
Wow.
I have 2 days in Athens. Today I'll go eat a couple of gyros. I'll smoke a shisha, and tomorrow I'll wake up. I'll visit 6-7 archaeological sites. My goal. I told you my goal is to visit every UNESCO World Heritage site.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm like, I'll just cross it off. Unexpected Acropolis. Here we go. So I'm like, okay, perfect. I arrived to the hostel, beautiful, brand new. I go eat a couple of gyros, delicious. Oh my God, the food in Greece is so good. It's so good.
They do a thing where they stick the fries in
the sandwich. Yeah, that's a very Mediterranean thing because they
I
do
really
it in
like
Lebanon too.
I like that. I do that at home.
Do you have the Greek pita?
Well, when I go to when I order pita and then I order rice and then I stick them in there.
Nice. Okay. So good. So yeah, first day I'm like, oh my God, I'm in Athens. This is fun. Monday I'll go to the embassy. I'll clear all my problems. Let's eat a couple of gyros. Walk. So many people.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. Saturday night, the heart of Athens.
Yeah.
Thousands, tens of thousands of people.
Whoa.
You walk, restaurants everywhere. Like the restaurant is small, but there's tables everywhere. There's no like all the sidewalks are just tables. People playing music.
Oh, that's cool.
So fun. You go, you eat. It's great. Then I found like a shisha place. I smoked a shisha. The owners were like Egyptian. They're like, oh, you speak. I'm supposed to go, and they're like, ah.
Oh, that's cool.
He's like they empathize with me. He's like, can you pay cash? I'm like, no, I don't have cash. They're like, oh, fine. So anyway, so fun. I go to sleep, tired. Wake up the next day. Wake up early. Bum, ba, bum, ba, ba,
Yeah, all excited.
all excited. I bought my ticket before the Acropolis, dude.
Wow.
Have you been? Oh, buddy. First of all, it's on top of a mountain, and I booked it at like 11. So even though they say, oh, you should go in the morning where there's less people and the sun isn't strong, go at noon. Go suffer under the
Stress.
Athenian sun.
Yeah.
There were a lot of people, but apparently from what I heard, August is like the summer. It's the month that all Greeks take off.
Oh.
Yeah.
They take off?
Yeah.
Where do they go?
They take a month off and they go to like they go to
Canada.
islands and they go to like their home, their country houses or whatever. Because it's like this because they have a month off.
Okay.
And a lot of Greeks take August off.
Okay.
So yeah, there were a lot of people, but just to go through the gate, the Acropolis is so huge. Oh my God, insane! I had tears in my eyes.
Yeah?
Blown away. So
how big is
beautiful.
it?
It's huge. It's
Yeah?
huge. It's huge. It's bigger than this area.
Jeez.
It's huge. First of all, the Parthenon is big.
Uh-huh.
Plus, then you have all the buildings around it.
Yeah.
But it's 2,500 years old.
Wow.
It's insane what they were able
Was
to
there
do.
like a statue of Hercules in there? Or Zeus?
No.
It's Zeus, right?
I think Zeus built it for the goddess Athena. Like they say, like, it's a gift for the goddess Athena.
Okay.
So beautiful. So many statues. If you go visit it, I recommend getting like an audio guide because I find I have a thing that I love museums. You know me, I love museums, but I don't like seeing Greek things in museums.
Greek things?
Yeah,
What do you
like
mean?
Greek statues.
Oh,
and,
so not like actual religious, like fake religion, like.
For me, museums, Egyptian stuff, I like seeing that in a museum. Art, I like seeing that in a museum. But culturally, Greek, old, like ancient Greek, I find a museum, I never fully grasped how amazing it is. However, if you go see an archaeological site, then you understand. Because you see like a beautiful statue, you're like, oh, it's nice.
Yeah.
But then you see it where it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
It was a column holding this humongous building. And you're like,
oh, that makes sense.
then it blows your mind away.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
Wow.
okay, now I understand. Because there's the British Museum has a huge section about ancient
Greek stuff.
Greeks, and I never fully grasped. I'm like, oh, okay, this thing is supposed to be on top of that thing, and then he explained the story of like the Lord of Elgin who stole all the marble from the Acropolis, and he just
jeez, that's a lot.
you know Elgin Street in
in
Ottawa?
Yeah, Ottawa.
In Ottawa, yeah. Well, apparently it's named after him.
Elgin.
He's Elgin. He's apparently
Sounds
the
like Lord
biggest
of the Rings or something. Elgin.
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 Lord of Elgin. He stole so much. Apparently, he bribed the Ottoman, and he just took whatever he wanted.
Wow.
Anyways, blown away. There's I'm gonna spend a lot of time there, so I'm just there. There's a tree planted by President Eisenhower, olive
really?
tree. Yeah, it's supposed to it's a peace olive branch between. I saw this.
Him
and
in Greece?
Sorry.
America and Greece.
No, I think he planted it because he was hoping peace between Turkey and Greece.
Eisenhower did that?
Yeah.
He's
yeah.
like, this is a little plant.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I saw this, and then I had a little moment. I'm like, so I started listening to Cat Stevens because he's Greek, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm listening to because I had my earphones and they're noise canceling. So yeah, I'm all alone. I'm surrounded by people, but you're all alone because you have your noise canceling earphones, and you're listening to Cat Stevens' Peace Train.
Oh yeah.
And you're standing, staring at the Parthenon, just tears down my face. It's a beautiful moment.
That's nice.
And then I had a special ticket which allowed me to visit 7-8 different archaeological sites.
Whoa.
So I spent the whole day just
walking around.
hopping from one archaeological,
Cool.
like the library of this guy, the building of that guy. And they're all everywhere.
Uh-huh.
There's archaeological sites in the metro. My metro
Whoa.
station.
Yeah, I saw that on your
You
Instagram.
go down the street and like, oh yeah, we were excavating this metro and we found
What?
this thing from 2,000 years ago. It's crazy. So fun. I enjoyed it. Spent the whole day. Again, at night, I find a shisha place. I go smoke.
How's shisha there?
It's great.
Really?
A couple of places had good shisha. A couple of places were meh. But you could tell which ones. Like, if it's ran by Arabs. Yes. Sorry, I killed an insect that was trying to bite you. Yeah, it was so fun. I have Greek friends. You have them too. John Kotrokoi.
Oh, yeah.
John saw that I was in Greece, so he's like, okay. And he just started like sending words. He's like, go there, go there, go there, go there.
In Athens.
In Athens, exactly. And
he's like the gay museum, the gay anal sex party, the
he's
gay.
Here's the funny part, and this is true, is that he's like, oh, go to these neighborhoods. They're the party neighborhoods. So I go to the neighborhoods that he recommends.
Yeah.
Because, you know, he's a bon vivant.
But the thing is, he doesn't really party when I see. I guess when he's, you know, this is okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't want to distract. This is just a side note of just Greeks in general. I know secret Greek gays.
Yeah.
I know one secret Greek gay. So lives in Montreal, lives above his parents, has an amazing job, still lives in an apartment above his parents, makes so much money. He's working in the same company over 30 years.
Is he your brother?
No. No, he makes a lot of money, I said. And he's, at this point, he has so much vacation time that he only needs to work 6 months out of the year. And then the rest of the 6 months, he gets to live his gay life in Greece. And so that's Greeks aren't allowed, for the most part, being gay in Canada for whatever reason.
Okay, I have a theory about Greek men.
Greeks are super gay.
Because, as I said, John told me, hey, go visit these neighborhoods. So I'm walking in these neighborhoods. I'm like, there's a lot of, like, is Athens gay? Or am I going only to areas recommended by John Kotrokoi? And here's the thing. Okay, here's as I probably already told you this once, but I have a theory. And for some reason, I noticed that every guy I meet under the age of 30 could potentially be gay. Like, the lines between straight and gay here in North America is very blurred. Like, the way young men act, and I'm like, oh, you could possibly be gay. That's not the case in Greece. In Greece, I'm walking down and I see men, Gabe, and you know how much I appreciate male beauty.
Yeah.
So I see guys 6'3", 6'4",
Whoa.
gorgeous tan, beautiful eyebrows, amazing hair, impeccable style, gorgeous body. So the men in Greece, either they look like Greek gods or they're straight. There's no in between. They even look like a Greek statue or the guy that sculpted it. Like the straight Greek man looks so straight.
What do you mean? Like, he's just like
he looks like he should own he owns a gyro place.
Yeah.
He owns a coffee shop. It's insane how straight that you cannot. There's no blurred lines.
No.
The gay men in Greece are Greek gods. Amazing. Most beautiful men I've ever seen.
They all go to Greece because most Greeks, like, they all moved away from Greece because there's no opportunity in Greece, and so but they go back to Greece to be gay.
To be gay, because you get to be gay and like tan.
I don't know. It's so funny. You think that a place like Greece would be more not as open as a place like Canada, but they're so scared to be themselves in Canada that they got to go back to where they're from in order to be
the land of the gays.
Who
the
they
land
really
of
are, you know?
They invited sodomy and
Anyway.
whatever. So anyway, so I was just blown away by how beautiful gay men. There's no blurred lines. It's crazy. It's crazy. You could stare at a guy like, oh, he's gay for sure, because he's gorgeous. He's hypnotizing. I kept like looking at them, and they're looking at me. I'm like, I'm just admiring you. I don't want to hit on you. You're just so beautiful.
Yeah.
He's like, that's being gay. I'm like, no.
Oh, that's what you said to the guy? Oh, okay.
I could tell by that. He's like,
No.
I'm just like, my favorite shisha place was in a clearly gay neighborhood. And I would walk,
Shisha shape.
and I would be like, oh my God, you're so beautiful. I was telling John, like, John, this is insane. He's like, Europe, man. That's Europe. In Europe, just beauty is insane. Yeah. Male beauty is
cool.
just.
Oh. So wait, did you say what happened at the embassy?
No, okay. So yeah, Monday I wake up. Listen to this. The embassy is open for 2 hours. That's it. Their work hours are from 10 to 12.
What?
That's it. That's all they work.
Every day though.
5 days a week, Monday to Friday.
So who? Okay, yeah. 2 hours. Wow.
2 hours. That's all they work.
Nice life.
What a great life. So I wake up. I'm like, I'm going to be the first. I get there at 10. They open at 10. I get there at 10. I ring the door. Like, what do you want?
Yeah.
Who are you?
Huh?
I'm like, I just wanna
Ring
get
the
my-
door.
He's like, all right, come on in. So I walk in. There's a big Egyptian population because Egypt and Greece, there's literally just the Mediterranean far away. It's like I'm pretty sure it's like 2 hours by boat. It's insane. There's
Wow.
not 2 hours. Sorry, no. Okay, maybe 16 hours by boat. It's
Oh,
nothing.
okay.
It's like a 2 hour flight, and you're in Cairo. It's very close. So there's a lot of Egyptians, and you have Alexandria. Anyways, I'm waiting. There's a lady. I'm like, hi, marhaba. Speaking Arabic. I'm like, oh, maybe if I spoke in Arabic. And she's like, hi. I'm like, hi. I explained to her the situation. Got kicked out of the plane. Visa. She's like, okay. Just give me the passport. I'm like, okay, it's gonna take 3 weeks, but you can get. I'm like, what? She's like, yeah. I'm like, there's no emergency visa you can give me. She's like, and she's like, if there was, I would tell you. I'm like, all right. Jesus, you have to be mean.
If there was, I would tell you. Why would she tell you? Like, you asked for it.
So mean. So anyways, I'm like, all right. She's like, you still want it? I'm like, well, no, I'm not gonna.
I'm not gonna be here.
I'm gonna stay in Athens for 3 weeks and then go for another 2 weeks in Egypt. So
that
so I'm
sucks.
like, all right, I guess I'm staying in Athens. So I go back to the hostel. I'm like, hey, I'd like to book a couple extra nights. She's like, sure. I book a couple extra nights. What did I do that day? I think I climbed another mountain. So hot.
Were you really bummed out? Were you like, fuck?
As I said, it's like I found it funny. I found it funny that I'm like, the mummy's curse. It's true.
Yeah.
That's the second time in 30 years I
Ah.
tried to go to Egypt and I
But
go
then-
to the pyramids and
I
I
know.
get denied.
But do you lose like your hotel you booked there and shit?
So I
know.
message Expedia. I'm like, hey, one hotel give me a refund.
Okay.
The other hotel, they're like, no refund.
Well, at least you got something.
I had to change my flight because my return ticket was from Cairo
Yeah.
to London.
Oh.
So I had to change it Athens, London. That was like $50. I had bought a plane ticket to go from Cairo to the south of it, but I never got a confirmation email, so I just lost money.
What the fuck?
It's just Air Egypt.
Yeah.
They have like two.
Oh.
It's like a water, like a hot air balloon.
I know.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah, it's like a fucking.
It's like a $50 plane ticket. I don't know how they make money. So I lost about $300-400.
Okay, that's
It's
not.
okay, it's
I
not
thought
that
in
bad.
my head I thought you lost like 10 million.
No.
trillion,
But here's the thing: is that it's a third world country. As I told you, I had literally my daily budget, including the hotel, not hostel, the hotel in Egypt was like $40 a day should be fine,
Yeah.
including eating, smoking,
eating.
sleeping, visiting archaeological
Sucking.
sites, fucking everything, bro. Sucking, hiking, lounging, eating, drinking, smoking. Censor those 2 words at the
Yeah.
end. Censor that one as well. Everything included $40 a day.
Okay, gotcha.
That was my budget. So the hotel, 3 nights was like $80. So I'm like, you know what? C'est la vie. What do you want to do? What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? So anyway, that day I climbed a big mountain. It was nice in the heat. So hot.
Yeah.
I stopped wearing jeans. I'm like, that's too hot for jeans.
Yeah, you got like nice walking pants.
Well, these are my Indiana Jones pants. I only wear them when I'm doing.
do they go like this?
A little, yeah.
Yeah.
They were tight at the beginning, and then at the end they were like more or less. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Yeah, I love these pants. They're my
Yeah, they look good for walking.
they're my mountain co-op pants. I've had
Mhm.
them since 2000. I traveled the first time I went to Egypt. I wore these pants.
Wow, that's some good
And
pants.
I still wear these pants.
That's some good pants.
Yeah, they have like charcoal holes at the
Mhm.
bottom,
Yeah.
but they're fantastic. They become shorts in case of
Oh.
emergency.
Yeah, yeah.
So fun. I climbed a huge mountain. It's the only mountain that is taller than the mountain where the Parthenon is.
Uh-huh.
So you can go up there and then you can see the Parthenon. It's the only point in
Wow.
Athens that you can see.
And
So
how
it's
long is this walk?
I don't remember.
Like a couple hours?
But I think
or-
it started. The hiking starts from my hotel because I have to climb and it's just traffic and cars and
Wow, that's insane. That's madness.
and it's so hot. I decided to do it at noon for some reason. But it's like there's like a restaurant up there, and I ate moussaka. I got up there, I ate moussaka, drank a glass of wine. I ate a lot, and then I had to walk down with my stomach full and
Ooh.
tipsy on wine. Ah,
Did you have tiropita or spanakopita?
I had 2 things like this. I had moussaka,
Mm-hmm.
and I had another Cretan Cretan pie, similar thing.
Oh, okay, that's probably that shit. Cool.
Yeah. So yeah, and then I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna stay in Athens.
Yeah, you go
for
crazy.
6-7 days. There's not much to do in Athens, you know.
Nah.
Athens is a good. I think if you're in a relationship, if you take your girlfriend, it's good because you just eat and drink. There's just a lot of places where you can sit. Eat and drink.
Yeah, I think
So-
it's like a hub. You go there, you spend a day, and then you go to wherever you're going. You know.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah,
are you gonna go? You're gonna go to Mykonos. You're gonna go to Crete. You're gonna go
Yeah.
to
So
Tortelliniville.
so as
It's Italy.
apparently you guys have pasta, but you call it something else.
Yeah, what do we call it? I don't know.
Pastis.
Pastizio.
Pasticcio.
It's like a Greek lasagna.
It's a
That's
Greek
disgusting.
lasagna.
There's like eggplant and like.
I had that.
Yeah, it's.
Potatoes.
Oh no, that's moussaka, I think.
Moussaka. They all have
Yeah,
potatoes
they all have
and
eggplant,
pasta.
potatoes and cum, yeah.
It's very good. So anyways, I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna stay in Athens. Let's organize my trip. I'm like, okay, now in Athens. Let's find out what was in Greece. So I'm like, okay, let's look at the island. Dude, the islands are so expensive.
Yeah, the little islands. You're like, oh my god, how long does it take to get me there?
Yeah.
It's like a boat that you sleep in and
Yeah.
you wake up and you're like in.
Yeah. Yeah, I took that boat. So I'm like, all right, I'm look at all the islands.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna look at which islands have hostels.
Yeah.
1 or 2.
Whoa.
Like all the fancy ones.
Yeah.
The Santorini.
Yeah.
And the other one, what do you call it?
Mykonos, right?
Mykonos.
They're small islands too. Yeah.
Cheapest hotel, $300-400 a night.
Ooh. What about?
Insane.
Did you look up Zante? Zanti?
Is that an island?
It's an island.
No.
It's a party island. It's where all the British people go to.
But
party.
the thing is, I was dressed in these pants and my Indiana Jones pants. I wasn't dressed to party.
Yeah, but I think it's one of the cheaper islands, and it's like it's not party. It's like
As I
it's
said,
fun, you know.
Sometimes cheap islands, yes, but the thing is, you have to sleep in those islands.
Yeah, it's true.
And just the hotels are so. Most islands don't have hostels, and the ones that have like cheap hotels, I couldn't find a room. So what I did is that one day, I took one day trip. Took a day trip to Aegea.
Aegea?
It's like a 2-hour away. I took like a speedboat.
Whoa.
It's pretty cool. A speedboat to Aegea. It's an island known for its pistachios. Listen to this. First of all, I get to the port. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to be late. I get there at 10 exactly. The boat leaves at 10. So I'm at the port running. Dude, it's 45 degrees. It's 45 degrees and you have this fat white boy just running. I see the boat. I'm like, I'm going to miss my boat. I'm like, dude, I have my backpack, dripping sweat, running. I get there. I'm like, they're like, oh, yes, 40 minutes. I'm like, what?
40 minutes.
They're like, my friend, it's Greece.
40 minutes.
So yeah, it's supposed to come at 10. It came at 10:40.
Oh.
So I spent 40 minutes waiting for
Just waiting. You're like,
So I didn't know this, but Greeks have, you know, like how in Japan, everyone waits in line. They make a line. Everything is proper. Dude, the boat comes like a zoo. Animals running towards the entrance. And you see like the Germans and like the British like they're like, what? And the Greeks like, hello, sorry. And they're like, excuse me. And they're just cutting everyone. Because it's not reserved seating. So first come.
No,
But there's seats for everyone.
Yeah, but they want to get on.
Right
away.
Like, excuse me. And there's just people are cutting. It's like the tourists will start doing a line. And then when the boat came, everyone just.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you're like, well, I'm not going to wait in line like a stupid. I'm going to act like an animal like them.
Just
So
run
you
in.
start just pushing old ladies, kicking children.
Oh, that's so sad.
Take a baby, you throw him in the water. Like, it's me, pasticcio, let's go. Just cutting everyone. And I saw this more than once. I'm like, oh, it's a Greek thing.
Yeah.
Greeks don't care.
No. My mom's like that. My mom is like,
No care.
even in their behavior, if someone like customer service, like you'll like yell at a woman for no reason, you'll like anything, like you're at the grocery store, you'll grab something out of someone's cart.
No, it's me, myself, and
Yeah.
I. Dude, it's insane. I took another ferry, and everyone's waiting in line to get out, right? And then I hear, excuse me. It's just a guy and his wife. And he's like, we want to go out. And then Greek people start talking but we're going also waiting to go out. Like I couldn't understand what they were saying, but I could understand what they're like. And the guy just wanted to leave first. So he's like, excuse me, with his head up high. The arrogance. Oh my god! And his wife is like,
They're such
excuse me, excuse me, just cutting, getting in. Oh, it was insane. Excuse me. His wife is all apologetic. And you could tell like other Greeks are very expressive. So you could tell by their like, look, what is this?
so
Like
funny.
even for the Greek, this guy was too much.
That's
Like
so
we all wanted to leave. Why you want to leave
Yeah,
first?
why do you want to
It's
leave
insane.
first?
Insane.
I like that. Excuse me.
Excuse with his head up high.
Excuse
The
me.
arrogance.
Oh,
head up
that's
high.
so funny. That makes me
So-
laugh.
First day, I go, I'm like, okay, you know what? Let's escape the hub of Athens. Jump on the speedboat. I sit down finally on the speedboat. A guy sits next to me. He's like, hi. I'm like, hi, we're talking. He's like, how are you? I'm like, I'm
That's
good.
so nice. A guy going like, "Hi."
Yeah,
That's so
literally,
nice.
hi. He's like, where are you going? I'm like, I'm going there. Yeah, and I explained to him the situation. Like, that's hilarious. Then, sometimes you meet people, when you
Yeah.
travel alone, sometimes you attract weirdos.
Yeah, okay.
The guy is like, there's a lot of nudist beaches in that island. You know that, right?
Okay.
I'm like, listen, I just, I'm not, it's.
Just wanna
I go to the
chill.
beach once every 10 years, but thanks for the information. He's like, okay, take notes. First of all, take my number. That's for sure.
Take my number.
Let's start with this. You have to take my number.
Why? Why
He's
do I
like-
need your number? That's so weird.
He's like, you have to take my number. Okay, tomorrow I'm going to this blue beach.
I'm only here for the day, my friend. I'm only here for 2 hours.
But because we're going back to Athens. And he's like, oh, you're not? Oh, you don't want? Okay, well, I know a nudist beach in Athens. And if you want this one, you could also have sex on the beach. I'm like, buddy,
No, that's what he's.
I'm barely comfortable wearing, regular
Shorts.
shorts. I don't even wear shorts. So I went to go to it. And he's like, but do you trim? I'm like, yeah, I trim. He's like, it's good to trim. It looks bigger.
What
I'm like,
the hell?
Dennis, I'm a 40-year-old man. I know how to make my penis look
Oh
bigger.
my God!
Then he's like, do you go to swing clubs? I'm like, no. He's like, Athens has great swinging clubs, swinger clubs. I'm like, I'm all alone. He's like, they'll let you in. Don't worry. I'm like, I'm not planning. I'm not. It's not really
oh
my
God.
thing.
And he's Greek.
He is Greek American.
Okay.
So
See, I told you they
Yeah.
come home to be gay.
They come home to do
To do
And-
debaucherous
and then he's telling me like, yeah, every time I come here, there's a girl from Moldova. I mean, she's an escort, but like I hire her and we spend like 2 weeks together, and then we go to these swinger clubs. By the way, never met the guy. 10 minutes in, he's like, this
Wow.
just. You're like, yeah, it's nice, We also, in America, we knew a guy who knew a lot of international students, so he would hook us up with girls who would like $25. I'm like, okay.
What the hell?
I'm like, just telling me every naughty, disgusting sex things. He's like, be careful about the strip clubs. They'll try to take your money. I'm like, I come from Montreal. We have the best strip clubs in the world. He's like, yes, it's true. He's like, you should go to a swing club in Montreal. I'm like, I'm not gonna go.
Oh my
To us,
God. That's
just
funny.
telling him about the debauch. Like, I love anal sex, so I don't mind, if it's a transsexual. I'm like,
Oh my God.
then he's like, he's like, I don't like Athens. There's something I don't like. There's a lot of Indian people there. A lot of brown people. They look dirty.
Oh
he's
my
like, I'll still, but I'll wear a condom. I'm like,
No.
okay.
This is the most. This man's a lunatic.
Unhinged. Because here's the thing. I welcome.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. I'm taking notes.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
said,
yeah.
Look at my phone. I'm like, all right, anal sex. Go to this place. Sex. He's like, he told me, he's like, oh, if you go to this beach, he's like, go the one where you have to pay, because the free ones, there's a lot of brown people. I'm like, okay. Because I didn't tell him I was an Arab, for sure.
Oh.
No,
you
let him think I'm
he's
white.
from like Albania or
Exactly.
something.
No, I'm Canadian.
Yeah.
I'm traveling alone. I'm a 40-year-old man. I understand from his point of view that I could be a sexual predator. I get it. I get it. He saw a bald 40-year-old man
He saw a
traveling
colleague.
alone.
He's like, there's my coworker
Yes,
right there.
exactly. That's a guy. Like, it makes sense to see. If you see a guy traveling alone in his 40s, like, he's a sexual tourist.
This guy's a
For sure. That's he's here.
And he's disappointed. You have nothing to, like, no notes to compare with
Yeah,
him.
exactly. He's like, what, you don't recommend any places
What
where I
did you-
can
what
fuck
have you noticed?
transsexuals? He's like, be careful, go to Thailand. I'm like, I wasn't planning on going to Thailand. Dennis. And I was like, I'm making jokes like this about him. Like, Dennis, he's like, I'm like, I'm worried I'm going to, like, he's like, oh, you should go to, like, discover yourself. Go to a naked beach. I'm like, I don't want to burn my penis. He's like, oh, you can put sunscreen on your penis and your balls. Looks nice. Gives a little tan. I'm like, thanks, Dennis. Awkward. I'm like, but what are you doing in that island? He's like, oh, I came with my mom. We're going to visit a monastery. I'm like, huh? He's like, yeah. And then he points to his mom.
Oh
His
no!
80-year-old mom. He's like,
She's
yes.
there.
He's like, are you religious? I'm like, not really. I guess you are, Dennis. After you transsexuals in Thailand.
Greek parents who travel back to Greece, they're like, they don't want to. They're almost like Lebanese people, right? They don't want to have fun. They're like, if you have fun, you're going to hell, right?
Yeah, I
so
guess.
visit a monastery.
Yeah.
And that's their idea of doing something nice in Greece.
I get it, though.
They-
I get
they-
it. It's
they just
nice.
don't
Because the monastery is on an island, and you get to the island, and you
Yeah.
get off the port, and then, it's beautiful. You see, like, the tiny houses, and the sound of the water, and the little ice cream shop. Like, the island I went to is known for its pistachios. So I ate, like, so many, like, delicious little pistachio
Nice.
things. So cool. I'm like, okay, I'm on an island in Greece. I'm going to eat seafood. So I find a restaurant.
Nice.
Dude, I swear. You had the beach, 20 meters. You had like the sea, what do you call it? The sea market, fish market.
Mhm.
So I'm literally sitting next to the fish market,
Yeah.
eating a fish and octopus.
Wow, nice.
Oh, it's just fresh and just the right texture in my mouth. Little cats running around. I'm like, this felt like a dream.
Mhm.
Just so fun. I'm like, I wonder if this tiny island, because it's not a big island, I wonder if it has a shisha place. I found a shisha place. Cost 20 euros for the shisha. It's the most expensive shisha I paid for in Greece.
Yeah.
Smoked a shisha by the water. So fun. Had my Fanta.
Yeah.
Bought some
Fanta.
pistachios
Oh,
for my mom and dad.
Nice. And then you go back.
I went to the beach. That's the only time I went to the beach.
Oh, at that beach.
That beach, yeah.
How was it?
It was great.
Yeah.
I sat next to a little umbrella. Had a beer. Had a Coke Zero. Staring in the water. Jumping in the hot Mediterranean water.
Dennis was next to you.
Hmm?
Dennis was next to you.
Then it's like, hi. No, dude, the second the boat landed, I sprinted because he had to wait for his mom.
Oh.
He's in his 50s, so his mom, I'm assuming she was
Yeah,
in her
she's
70s, 80s. So I'm like, I'm not hanging out with this sexual predator. I'm getting, because he's like,
Wow.
come to the monastery with us. He's a
Come
big.
to the monastery. He's the most nicest sexual predator.
Oh my God. He's just, I think at a certain age, you're like, I'm just going to be a sexual tourist. I'm more of a romance tourist. I'll fall in love. I'll date someone.
Yeah. No,
He's a
but
sexual tourist.
And he was a single dude in Greece with his mom.
Apparently he has a girlfriend, but he's like, but I always wear a condom because out of respect. He has a girlfriend back in America. But he's like, out of respect, I'm going to use a condom, of course. I don't want her to catch anything. It would be rude. It would be rude to cheat on my girlfriend and give her an STD.
This is insane.
Insane.
Greek-
Insane guy.
Dennis. Any guy named Dennis. Every guy I know named Dennis is weird.
It's crazy.
Uncle Dennis, that Dennis.
I have his phone number. We can call him after.
Yeah, we should call him. Hey, Amer, I'm naked right now.
It's just, and it's funny how he opens up the subject. Like first it's like, there's nudist beaches. He opens with a nude beach just to see how I react. And I was like, tell me more.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, this is material. Tell me more. I'm going to talk about it on the podcast. And then it goes to like sex beaches. Then it goes to sex clubs. Then it goes to banging transsexuals in the ass. It's just there's so much
Imagine the
passion.
shit he does that he doesn't tell you.
Oh my God.
It's like that's the shit.
Oh
he's
my
open.
God. The things he must do in Thailand. Oh.
Oh.
He's like, I have a friend. He was in the army. He was stationed in Bangkok or whatever. And he developed a thing for ladyboys.
Okay.
So that's his thing, like ladyboys. And they're like, I like anal sex. So it's great. We got a couple of girls. I fuck her mouth. He fucks her ass. We got another one. We fuck her pussy. It's a fun evening with friends.
It's just insanity.
When you start using a female body as something you consume, like a pistachio ice cream, I think there's a switch in your mind. I don't know. I don't think you can come back. I told you I've always wanted to bang a prostitute, but I never did, because it always worries me. Once you start, like when you have a one night stand, it's a transactional thing, right?
Yes. Yeah. It is like objectifying.
Yeah, and it's nothing wrong because you're kind of both doing it to each other.
Mhm.
But when it comes to sex, when just you pay,
Mhm.
and you're like, all right, let me play with your body like it's a PlayStation 5
Mm.
for a couple of hours. I think it does something to your mind. I don't
Yeah.
know if you can come back. And I could tell with him, he's like, oh yeah, but there's nothing wrong because she's getting money
Yeah.
and I'm getting what I want. Anyways, Dennis, shout out to Dennis, guys.
Yeah. See you in hell,
America,
man.
he works. Huh?
See you in hell, Dennis.
See you on the Interpol most wanted criminals. You were fun to talk to.
Oh.
So yeah, that day I spent it at the beach.
Nice.
After I escaped from Dennis, the beach is very relaxing. But I don't understand people who could do this every day.
No.
Like it's crazy.
Well, no, yeah, I can't. I couldn't. You do go crazy.
Yeah, you do the beach once
Yeah.
a month, once a year, and you're like, all right.
Yeah. No.
It's very because you just do. I get it. I get the idea of doing nothing
Yeah.
because it's you just sit and you stare at the water.
I
And
know.
it's very.
But the whole time you're like, I could be over there. I could be over there.
Yeah.
I can look at that thing and that thing and this thing and that.
Because for me, a vacation is active.
Yeah.
Dude, I walked. I calculated. I walked 195 kilometers.
Oh
during
wow,
my
that's
vacation.
amazing. That's
Yeah.
good.
I lost 10 pounds.
Wow.
I'm the only person to ever travel to Greece and come back lighter.
Wow.
Every person I talk to who went to Greece comes back 30 pounds heavier because just the food is so good. And you eat like 2-3 meals a day and ice cream all the time. Just wherever you go, €3 pistachio ice cream.
Did you get souvlaki? Or did you get euro?
I got euros, I got souvlaki, I got moussaka, I got.
That's good. That's
So anyway, so yeah, I go back to. So I spent that day and on that island. I go back to Athens, and the next day I'm like, okay, let's discover outside of the inner circle of Athens. Pentel's like, dude, you have to go to that arena. It's a humongous. There's a museum there. I'm like, fine. So I jump in a train, 30 minutes outside of like the hub, like the Acropolis, and I'm in like a quaint. I come out. I'm like, oh, what a beautiful, quaint little neighborhood. You're walking around. I'm like, oh, this is where like normal people live. No tourists, nothing. I'm just walking hot. It's so hot. I'm enjoying walking. And I turn and I turn. I'm going to that arena. I'm like, how could this arena be in this such a quiet?
Yeah.
And then you turn and then bam. And it's a humongous, like 60,000 seat arena with the football team of Athens.
Okay.
That double-headed eagle. I don't know if you know what I'm talking
No,
about.
I never looked at it.
And you could tell that like there's no urban planning that was made because the metro doesn't say the metro is like 10 minutes away, 15 minutes away. So there's no metro right next to the arena.
Oh
So
my
imagine when
God.
there's a football game,
Oh.
60,000 people invade this quaint
Wow.
little neighborhood, and just no urban planning. They're just like, you know what, we're gonna build it here, and they build it there.
Whoa.
It's huge, huge. I walk in and I'm like, okay. Pentel's like, go visit that museum. I had no idea what it is. I walk in. At first, I'm like, oh, it's a museum of the refugees. Lady looks at me. He's like, I think you want the other museum, not the one. I'm like, not this one. I'm like, okay. So I go to the other side. So I go to the other side. I was like, it's a museum for the football team of Athens. The guy looks at me. He's like, are you Greek? I'm like, no. He's like, do you follow football? I'm like, not really. He's like, what are you doing here? I'm like, my friend said I should check out this museum. You're like, all right, €15.
Oh, that right.
Pay €15. I walk in, and it's like the history of the AEK
Okay.
football team. And you walk in, and you're like, oh, this is the founder. It's funny, they have wax statues of the founder, and it's just a Greek guy, and I swear he's holding a cigarette. They have a Greek statue of a guy, and there's a real cigarette in his fingers. Like that's how Greek that guy is. Blows my mind.
Why is there a wax statue of just a guy? It's like saying
Yeah.
it's like
Just wax statues. No, like they had wax statues of the football players, which I found odd. But it's crazy. Like big thighs, big football player thighs. They look real. And like the owner or like the first owner. And you look at like the old jerseys and the history and how much they lost money and they try again. So it's very, and they have the music playing in the background is very like rocky, like that like we can do it, very inspirational. And again, I had tears in my face because like they have interviews with the football players that I believed in myself since day one. I worked hard, and I'm like, I relate everything to my comedy career. I'm like, this is nice. The trophies. I'm like, this is I got to enjoy.
So they won gold?
Sorry?
They win the gold medal?
They won a few tournaments and like the Greek Cup and the European whatever, blah blah blah. And they talk about like in after World War II how it went. It's a nice museum about. But
cool.
again, I walked in not knowing anything about anyone.
Funny thing to go. Yeah.
It's very fun. Okay, and there's a church right next to it, and apparently, like during matches, that church gets invaded by fans because they put a candle so that their team wins.
Oh my God, that church must make so much money.
Oh, huge.
It's like usually like a
They have
Euro.
Prada shoes. No, they don't have Skechers. So I'm like, okay, you know what else? I find a little restaurant, like a neighborhood restaurant. I walk in, I eat some smoked salmon with. It's just great, dude. You know what I realized I really liked? Pomegranate juice. So good. I feel healthy drinking a pomegranate juice. Just walking around. I'm like, okay, you know what? I have all that day. What I'm gonna do? So you know how like you went bar hopping? You like doing that? I'm like, I'm gonna start shisha hopping.
Wow.
So
But are you able to consume that much shisha? Like,
But
will you not like? Okay.
Here's the thing: is that I'm like, okay, and nothing opens before 6 p.m. and it was like 4.
6 p.m. Really? That
Yeah,
late?
like 5, 6 p.m. All places.
Oh my god! The
Yeah.
whole day you're like waiting and waiting.
Well, I would walk.
Oh yeah, you're busy.
So I'm like,
yeah.
I'm all up north, and I want to go south. I'm like, I'm just gonna. It's like a
Walk.
3-hour walk.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, there's a shisha place here. Let's try. If it's open, I'll stop there. If it's not open, I'll keep walking to the second one. So I walk. I'm just walking in the neighborhood, looking beautiful, normal Greek life. I stopped by a tailor, not a tailor, a barber, because my beard was getting crazy.
Okay.
So I went to a
It's
barber.
hot and you're like, oh.
Exactly. I went to a barber. I'm like, hey, can you fix this? He's like, yeah, come on in. So I'm like, I wanted to shave it all off. I wanted to shave it like this. He's like, no, you look good. So he gives me, I told you, he gives me a Greek hair, like beard cut. He gives me a Greek haircut, a Greek beard cut.
Yeah.
You know, I swear, I look like Pentelis. He just
Yeah.
gives me a like elongated chin.
Did you take any pictures of that? Because I don't remember you.
Because I was taking photos like this. So
Oh,
I have one photo. I'm smoking
okay.
shisha, and you could tell it's just like, you know, my chin is here.
Yeah.
I think with the beard, it looked like it was here. I looked like a fat, bald Pentelis. I swear. I look so Greek. He made me look Greek.
Damn.
I'm like, €7, give him 10.
You probably get like
Very
discounts and
complimentary.
shit. Yeah.
Super friendly guy. He's like, I heard Canadians are very polite. Is it true? He's like, I'm like, yeah, they're polite. He's like, they say sorry very much. I'm like, that's what you know about the Canadians.
That's so nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I told him, So that day I just walked around. I ended up in a shisha place. It was closed. I'm like, it's okay. It was so hot. I just stayed in the park. I went to a little dépanneur. I bought like fruits and a bottle of water. Dude, I ate the sweetest peach.
Yeah.
It tasted like
Oh.
honey. I was like biting into
Oh.
like a ball of honey. It was so
Nice.
delicious.
Yeah. Yeah. Fruits in Greece are good.
Oh.
Man. You could like.
I didn't
they're
eat
so
figs.
cheap
Yeah.
too.
I didn't eat a fig. That's the thing.
Oh, eating fig.
I should have eaten a fig, but it's okay. Next time.
Pass me a soda water.
Ah, sure, man.
That's cool. Fuck. So jealous, man. Oh, I love Greece.
You should go. And thinking about Greece, I realized, as I told you, I like active vacation. I'm not a but Greece is a passive vacation. You know?
Yeah, I know. You go for like a bit. I don't know. You could do like 4 days.
If you want to, like, people who go for a month, they're not.
No, they're going because they're like
I'm just
they're
gonna stay at the beach
working
and eat.
constantly, and they're like this, and then they go and they just go.
Yeah, like John Kotrikoy, who told me he gained like 50 pounds. I understand. Delicious food, not super expensive.
Yeah.
If you have a place to stay, it's a super cheap country.
Dude, Airbnbs, when I went, it was very cheap. I stayed right in Hania, in Crete, for like 20 euros a night or something.
That's
It
great.
was so cheap. And it was like, I had my own fridge, my own kitchen. I would just make
Yeah.
sandwiches every day,
It's cool.
watermelon in the freezer. Oh,
Watermelon is so good.
yeah.
So the next day, I'm like, all right, I'm done with Athens. Next island, let's go to. Oh, look at this crazy lady. Sorry, there's a crazy lady with her.
God,
like
she
a-
looks insane.
She's like 400 pounds. And I think she's homeless.
Maybe.
There's 70-80% of her titties uncovered walking around.
She's
I
like,
don't know if it's titty or just fat.
or just like
Anyways,
her arm.
so that day I'm like, let's go to Crete. And I booked a ferry to Crete.
Whoa. Okay,
It's
how
a-
long's that ferry?
8 hours and a half.
That's
That was I wanted to try it
Yeah, that is
because
cool, though.
it's a humongous ferry.
Yeah.
Cars and trucks go inside.
Wow.
And it's not assigned seating, so you just go and you see people just sleeping on sofas, and it's crazy, crazy.
Did you fall asleep?
Oh yeah,
Where'd you sleep?
I found like the lounge, just
Oh,
where
okay,
everyone's
there's enough
sitting.
room.
You sit. I got Wi-Fi. Watch a little bit of. I watched a Joe Rogan special.
Okay, cool.
I laughed and then I passed out, fell asleep. So, anyways, I go to Crete. It's so beautiful to be in the ocean and in the sea, and you look all around and you don't see anything.
Yeah,
It's terrifying.
it is.
The sea
Oh.
is terrifying. I'm like,
Yeah.
this thing can engulf me and eat me.
Yeah.
I'll never be found. I could jump right now,
I know.
never to be found ever
Yeah,
again.
no. They won't even stop the engine.
They will never know.
Mm-mm.
Because they don't scan you when you leave.
No.
So if you're Greek and if you want to unalive yourself,
Yeah.
just take a ferry to
Mhm.
Crete
Yeah.
and just jump in the water. No one's going to find you.
It would be so relaxing.
It's crazy. It's crazy, crazy how beautiful and scary the sea is.
Yeah.
So I get to Crete. Now, Crete, there's no public transport. I don't know. You've been to Crete. You've been to Chania, you said?
Yeah, but there is there. But like now in the mountains.
No. Here's the thing. I realized something. I'm not as smart as I thought I was. Because I'm like, okay, I went to Expedia. I'm like, hotel, Crete, no hostels. Okay, let's find a hotel. Found a hotel. I'm like, oh, because I didn't even know what Crete is. I just know that Crete is a nice island. You should visit it. I'm like, oh, found a hotel, like 40-something euros.
Oh, that's pretty
Very well rated.
That's
I'm
great.
like, okay, goddammit, let's book it. And then I'm like, okay, this is the hotel. After I book it, I'm like, okay, how far am I from, like, I always look for shisha places. Like, how far am I from a shisha place? And it's like an hour and a half from the closest. I'm like, where the hell did I book my hotel? And I look, and I'm on a mountain surrounded by nothing. That hotel is only booked for people who want to go to the Samaria Gorge.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So,
okay.
because
That makes sense.
it's a 5-minute walk
yeah.
from the entrance of the Samaria
Yeah,
Gorge,
That makes sense.
and that's it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, what am I gonna do? I don't know. There's no way for me from Chania
Yeah.
or Hania?
Yeah.
Shania?
It's Hanya.
Hanya.
People go Hanya.
There's no bus from Chania to that hotel.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, okay, I'm gonna rent a car.
There's not even there's no.
None.
'Cause when I was
Dude,
in-
I use Google to tell me if there's any bus
Ah.
transportation. None.
I took buses from, but it's not a bus. It's a coach.
Yeah.
Coach.
In Chania.
Yeah, in Hanya, 2 places, and then they would bring me back.
Anyways,
Yeah.
Google was telling me nothing, so I'm like, all right, you know what? I'll rent a car.
But maybe not from the. I'm surprised. That's
Plus,
crazy.
I wanted to drive. You
Yeah,
know, how-
yeah, that's better.
Driving is one of my favorite
Yeah.
hobbies. I'm like,
Yeah.
you know what? So, dude, that's another thing about renting cars in Greece. You go to Expedia, they give you prices.
Mhm.
I'm like, oh, let me go find other companies, like instead of going through Expedia.
Yeah.
So there's a guy, there's a website.
Okay.
Renting cars in Greece is, it's hilarious.
Yeah.
First of all, I find a website. I'm like, okay, there's like 150 euros to rent a tiny car. I wanted to rent a tiny car because roads are small. I saw how it is driving in Athens. I'm like, okay, Crete will be the same. Let's rent the tiniest car I could. 150 euros. You enter your name, your email. The guy's like, we'll email you. The guy messaged me like an hour, like, sorry, the car got booked, but we have a slightly bigger car for 160 euros. I'm like, okay, reserve that car for me. 6 hours later, I get an email, sorry, the car was booked, but you can rent this tiny SUV. I'm like, bro, 186 euros. I'm like, all right, give me the freaking SUV, the tiny SUV. The guy is like, okay, I meet you at the ferry stop. So I come by ferry, I get off, I look at the email, like, the guy comes in the car. He's like, are you Amer? I'm like, yes. He's like, here's the car. Never took my credit card. Never took nothing. He's like, give me your driver's license. So I give him my driver's license. He takes notes. He's writing. Like, he's very serious. And then he looks at me. He's like, give me your driver's license. He's like, I just gave you. He's like, that is your driver's license? I'm like, what were you writing? What were you writing? You took notes and you were writing all the notes. What were you think you were writing?
Imagine you took your driver's license. He's like, thank you. And then you're like, don't I need my driver's license to
Like,
drive?
no,
He's
no.
like, no, what? It's brilliant. You come back for this, and then give me the car.
Insane.
Bago, yeah.
The guy is like, okay, now you pay. No credit cards,
That's crazy.
cash.
Wow.
You give him money cash.
Yeah.
The guy takes the cash. He's like, all right.
Yeah. Wow.
There's a comedian. He has a joke about renting cars. The guy's like, what if I steal the car? He's like, it's an island. Where are you going to go?
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, where are you gonna go? Yeah, and if you crash
Tsaruchas?
Oh, Angelo Tsarukas.
He has a joke about...
Yeah.
I wanted to write a joke, and I saw he has a joke about renting cars. I'm like, oh, I can't.
Yeah, and he's funny. He's my aunt's cousin.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool. So anyways,
yeah.
get in the car. I'm like, oh, Louis, your friend Louis. The UFC fighter.
Sanodakis, yeah.
So he saw that I was in Greek, so we started chatting. He's like, oh, you got to go to the restaurant in Crete, in Chania. It's the best restaurant. I ate the best food over there.
Oh.
So I'm like, you know what? I'm in Crete. I just landed. I'm hungry. Let's go in that restaurant. So I jump in the car. Let's drive to. So I'm in Chania. I'm in the port, Suda. Let's drive to the old city of Chania.
Oh. It's nice, huh?
First of all, I had a tiny SUV. I had a Yaris SUV. So
Okay.
it wasn't super tiny car, but it was not a big car
Oh.
by all means. The roads in the old city are the narrowest streets. I'm driving. I'm like, this is insane. I'm gonna hit something.
Oh, wait,
right now.
I don't think you're supposed to drive in the old city. I think you're supposed to like park and then walk.
So I'm looking for parking. So I'm
Okay.
driving around trying to find parking. I'm driving, dude, I swear, in the narrow street. Then I see a car coming in front of me. I'm like,
What do I do?
he's like, I'm like, you can't pass. He's like,
What do you want me
so
to do?
I swear I was this close because I could see him in the mirror. I was this close from this car. And he passes. He's like, see? It's a two-way line. I'm like, it's not a two-way line. You're squeezing yourself.
Wow.
I never got to the restaurant. I spent 20 minutes circling around, finding parking. I'm like, and it was getting late. And I knew that the hotel was in the mountain. I'm like, what are the chances that those roads and the mountains are illuminated? 0%. So I'm like, sorry, Louis, I'm not going to your restaurant. So did a U-turn and I went to the hotel. Got there, but like 8:30.
Wow.
Dude, driving and there's three things I loved in my trip: visiting the Parthenon, blew my mind; the Samaria Gorge,
Oh yeah. Talk about that.
that was the day after, and driving in Crete
Mm-hmm.
are my three most memorable, fun times. You drive in the mountains and it's all windy roads, beautiful roads. It was like the sunset. And you look on one side and it's, first of all, it's death because there's nothing.
Death and goats.
I had at a certain point, dude, because I was driving, I was like, oh, let me put some music. So I put some Jamiroquai. You know, I love Jamiroquai. Jamiroquai, Cosmic Girl, Love Philosophy. They're great driving songs. So I'm driving stick shift. I'm second and third, just doing 70 and 30 zones. Just woo! So fun. Loving. But then at a certain moment, I'm like, I can't continue because there's goats everywhere. And you can't see them. Because every road is a blind spot.
Okay.
So what I did the second day, I turned off the music. I opened the window just so I can hear the kaling, 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 kaling. Because that's the only way. Because you'll be driving and then you brake because there's like 45 goats just like
Going at the things in their neck.
kaling, kaling. Stop. Beep, beep,
Man.
and then you're honking. At a certain point, I had to stop. There's a car and we're just waiting for the goats to. It's like, all right, checkpoint, I guess.
Yeah.
I get to the hotel, tiny hotel, very nice hotel. The owner is the guy who welcomes you at the door. Beautiful. I open the window and I swear it's just mountains. And I cling, 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 cling.
Wow.
I'm like, I am.
That's cool.
No buildings inside, just you and nature. I pass out, wake up the next day. Let's go to Samaria Gorge. Oh my God, you've been there, right?
Yeah.
Dude!
Dude, it's at
Dude.
first you're like, what am I getting myself into? You're
Just
like,
keep going down and
you're like
down.
and then like I'm like my legs are starting to hurt now. And
Yeah.
you're going down
And
and
it's still going down. People are falling because
People are getting wrecked. I fell 3 times, man.
I felt 0 because these are the worst shoes to walk on rocks. So I'm like, I'm going to be... These are great for the desert
Yeah.
of Egypt.
Yeah.
Not the rocks, a mountainous rock or the polished rocks by
Wow.
thousands of years of water.
And what's cool about the Samaria Gorge, let's say you're thirsty, they have all these natural springs and they have these little structures where you
Yeah.
can fill up your water.
Yeah.
So you don't need to worry about getting thirsty.
You just have to bring a tiny bottle of water
It's
with
so
you.
cool.
And you drink straight from the
Nice water, fresh water.
fresh water. I kept drinking it.
Mm-hmm.
I was hoping I didn't get diarrhea. I didn't
No.
drink. Did you drink from the thing or I didn't drink from the...
I don't remember. I probably used the
me too.
Yeah, I don't
Me
think
too.
my
It's
face
so
in it.
fun.
I don't remember.
So yeah, the Samaria Gorge, for people who don't know, gorge is basically when you have 2 mountains and then where they meet. So at the bottom, there's like a 3-meter distance between each mountain and the mountain goes up to like
So
400
crazy
meters.
high.
It is
And like the rocks,
Unrealistically
you see
beautiful.
a rock and you're
Yeah.
like, this rock's as big as a skyscraper. It's
Yeah,
like
it is
one
humongous.
rock. You're like, what? That's one rock.
It's so beautiful. You feel you're in a movie. It
Oh.
doesn't feel real.
It doesn't. It's so beautiful. And then the sun comes up, and then you start to smell the wood in the ground around you, and it just literally smells like fire a bit.
Yeah.
You're like if I light something, this whole place is on fire.
And there's so many stations in case of fire.
Mhm.
Like you're walking in the forest and you see a fire extinguisher. I'm like, oh, they want to make sure
yeah,
no one catches fire.
So beautiful. And you're
Se-
walking and
that
walking.
day, I walked 30,905 steps.
Wow, that's crazy.
My feet were dead.
yeah.
And it's so beautiful because you start at the top of the mountain and you walk all the way down and then you cross the gorge and then you get out of the park and then you walk to the sea where you take a boat to take you
All
back.
back.
So it's a whole cycle.
So cool.
And all along the way, you stop, you drink water from the just the natural water just flowing. It blew my mind how beautiful it is. I love the fact that it was so tiring.
Mhm.
And you see things that I'm like, I'm never going to see this
No.
ever again. Just paysage. How do you say paysage in English?
Like a painting?
No, paysage, like nature.
I don't know.
I don't know. Paysage. It's a beautiful landscape.
Mhm.
You just stare at landscape. Like wherever you look, I'm like, oh, this could be a painting.
Yeah.
This could be a postcard. It's just so beautiful. Come back in the hotel, dead tired. Go jump in the shower. And then something weird happened. Tell me that. So I'm in the bed, lights are off. I'm on my phone, and everything is dark, right?
Yeah.
And then I see I have my earplugs on. I see light. I'm like, someone's opening my door.
No.
I'm like, what the hell?
No.
So I take off my thing. I got up. I'm like, I opened the door. I think someone opened the door, heard, and closed the door. I opened the door. I'm like, and I see a guy. He's like,
No.
I'm like, did you open my door? He's like, I didn't touch anything. And he kept walking. I'm like, something's afoot here. I'm in my underwear. I'm
This
like, I don't
is
give a shit.
This is scary, man.
So I'm like, okay, so you know what? I put t-shirt on, I put shorts on. Like, let's go see. It's midnight. Let's go see the
Owner or
the
something,
owner,
or
like
manager.
the person. But I'm like, oh, I'm in a hotel in the woods.
There's freaks out here.
It hit me that if anyone's gonna murder me, it's gonna be the place. You're in a hotel.
He tried to
surrounded by
open your door?
Maybe he did, or maybe I didn't close the door properly, or maybe he opened the door by mistake. I'll never know. Because I go downstairs and there's no one at reception. It's midnight. Everyone's falling. They're all mountain people. They go to sleep at like 10.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right. So I put a table in front of the door in case someone else tries to open the door. I'm like, look, there's no escaping this. I'm in the mountains. I can't run. My feet are killing me.
Yeah.
I can't run. If someone's gonna harvest my organs, this is gonna be.
You have to run to the car. I don't even know. Damn.
So I'm like, I put a table in front of the door. I'm like, I don't know if it's someone tried to break in or it's just me.
and there was a lock on the door. The thing.
Well, it
So
wasn't a lock. That's the thing. It's I think they call it a hiker's hotel. So it's
Okay.
just a room, tiny. It's a big bed, but it's a room with your own washroom and shower. Very humble. It's a place for hikers, like mountain
okay.
hikers. It's like a huge chalet, but it's a hotel, and it has a little restaurant. I ate there 3 nights. Delicious food. It's a small, delicious food. Cretan food. I had the first day. What did I eat? The first day I ate lamb. Oh. And she gave me a bottle of raki at the end. She's like, I ate the soup. I had a soup, delicious soup. Then I ate the Greek salad. I was eating Greek salads every day. Greek salad in Greece are so good.
Yeah.
There's no lettuce. I didn't know that. Did you guys?
No,
did you know this?
it's cucumber and tomato.
Cucumber, tomatoes, onions,
Feta.
feta, and like some spices, and
Yeah.
olive oil, and olives.
Yeah, no, that's Greek.
That's it.
That's real. That's Greek salad anywhere you go, though.
Oh my God, no! But you order here, and they have like
It's not Greek salad.
iceberg lettuce.
No,
You're not supposed to.
that's you're going
bullshit,
to
yeah.
like you're going to what's it called? Some place I don't know. I
And
can't.
it's funny how like I went to one place. I'm like, oh, €7 for a salad. I'm like, oh, and it's just like a huge salad with a big block of cheese on top.
It's amazing.
It's so good, and it's not salty. Just the right amount of salty. It balances out with the
yeah.
the olive oil is so olivey.
Yeah.
So good.
So nice.
Oh, I was eating one every day. So yeah. So I end the meal, and the lady's like, "You want a little watermelon?" I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "I bring you watermelon." So she brings me watermelon
Pussy, it's
and a
called.
bottle of raki.
Okay. What's raki? Like rice wine or something?
So raki is like the wine of the Cretans, apparently.
Oh.
I think sake, raki. So I'm like, okay, let's try raki. So she gives me a little cup. So I pour it. I think it's just very strong. Like, oof. So I finish the bottle. Then I'm talking to a friend. She's like, you're supposed to drink that with water, right? I'm like, oh.
Like diluted?
Yeah.
Ah.
You're supposed to put raki and then water and then becomes like yellow. Not yellow, it becomes white.
Okay.
But I drank the whole thing. Dude, I got so drunk the first night in the mountain. I had wine and a whole bottle of raki. I'm texting with him. I'm like, hey!
And okay, that's cool.
So fun. So yeah. So first day I arrive, I sleep. The next day I visit the Samaria Gorge. I'm like, okay, I still have 1 day left in Crete. I love driving. It's a big island.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go visit an archaeology. I heard about the Knossos Palace. It's supposed to be like a famous archaeological site. I look, it's 3 hours away from my hotel. I'm like, perfect.
Yeah, that's not so bad. Yeah.
Let's drive. 3 hours going, 3 hours coming back. So
Yeah.
it's a 6 hour drive.
Yeah, Kingston.
So I'm like, I love driving.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Jump in my car. I drive the mountains, and then when you get out of the mountains, then you just drive with the ocean, the Mediterranean Sea. So on one side you have the mountains, on the other side you have the sea. And I'm listening to Bomba Stereo. It's just a great, it's great music. You stop by, you pee, you look. I'm like, oh, this is amazing. So I went to visit the Knossos, the Palace of Knossos, which is like one of the oldest Greek. It's like pre-Greek. I forgot the name of the people who lived in Greece before the Greeks. Mnemonians? Numians? Huh?
Numians? I don't know.
No.
Nubians?
No. Numians, something. Anyways, it's thousands of years old. It predates the Greeks. But here's the thing about it is that I think it's 4,500 years old. The guy who found it, Evans, the archaeologist. He's like, he Disneyfied it. So he's like, okay, like this is what I think it would be. So he painted the paintings and he rebuilt it, but it looks like you're in shitty Disneyland. It wasn't.
It's all like plaster and shit.
Yeah, exactly. So it wasn't. The idea, the fact that you're there is amazing because you're like, oh my god, this is the birthplace of Greek society. I saw the oldest road in Europe.
That's wild.
The oldest road, and also the oldest what they think is to be theater. Because it's like steps on each side, and there's a place in the center, and like, oh, it has to be a theater.
Yeah.
And this is the oldest theater. But the thing is,
art.
there's no. It's all like they suppose this is what they did this for. They suppose this was a custom because they don't know. They don't have paper. Nothing survived.
Okay.
I have a theory. All this was built because they needed shade, because it's so goddamn hot. The guy's like, he saw a tree. He saw that it was cooler in the shade of the tree. He's like, all right, let's build things that give us shade. The king will have the biggest shade. The queen will have a little less shade, and then the people will have no shade.
How do people survive without like autumn every once in a while? Because if it was hot like how it is in Montreal all year round, we go crazy. We go, oh maybe not, but
Well, it would be different. It would be like Athens. Athens is hot all the time. Crete
Yeah.
it gets cold. There's the mountains.
it's true.
It snows and everything.
Yeah.
But so yeah, I visit the Knossos, and I'm like, okay, let's find a shisha place. I have to smoke a shisha in Crete.
Yeah.
I have to.
Yeah.
I didn't smoke the day before. I cannot not smoke 2 days in a row. That's
No.
preposterous.
So what
I found a
cities are there?
place.
Heraclion?
So there's Heraclion, but I'm like, I'm not gonna go in Heraclion and like spend hours finding parking, and they're all by the beach.
Okay.
So I'm like, you know what? I found a place that is like 15 minutes away from the palace. It's like a little hood village, little Greek village had a hookah place. I walk in, it's just me and the owner. He's like, just me. I swear, just me and another guy. No other client. Huge place. Terrace, inside place. Like, hello? He's like, look at him. It's 4 o'clock. You should be napping. What are you doing? Like, shisha?
Why does every shisha place seem like they don't want customers? Why?
I don't know.
It's the only place that like they begrudgingly give you the best service ever.
That's a good explanation of shisha places. So I sit down. I smoke a shisha. I'm like, man, I'm smoking shisha. Like in the mountains. So nice. I look from far. I see a guy. He's just kneeing. There's no one on the street. That sound you hear Oh, another thing in Crete is that the crickets
Yeah.
are so loud.
Yeah. It's like you have to put like headphones.
Like
Right
walking
in your
in
head.
the archaeological site of Knossos is just creak, creak, creak. And I would like, as a joke, I would pass by a tree and I would shake the tree, and for like 1 second it would be quiet. And they were like German tourists, and they're like, ah! They were scared that they would fall on them. And they're like, it's okay, it's okay.
Stupid Germans.
So yeah, I was smoking shisha. I see like on my right, I see a guy just kneading bread, like getting his dough ready for later. I guess when people start going eating. On the other side, I see the car. I parked it. Mountains. I'm like, oh,
That's nice.
this is just, where am I, man? This is
I
amazing.
know.
Oh, so fun.
It's funny how like you live there, and you lose 10 pounds just by living.
Yeah.
Isn't that insane?
Dude, I was walking like crazy
Yeah,
too.
it's true. But I bet everyone there probably walks. People live on hills.
Yeah, but as I
outside.
said, everyone who goes to Greece gains weight.
Yeah.
But I was eating ice cream pretty much every night.
Nice.
Drinking Fanta every time I smoke a shisha. That's my drink of choice. Fanta.
Yeah, Fanta, dude.
And their Fanta, like European
so
Fanta,
good.
so much better than our Fanta.
It's also less calories, but tastes better.
It's not as like chemical orangey as the one we have here.
Yeah.
Here the crush is like chemical orange. Over there
Yeah.
it's like, I think it's made with actual orange juice.
Yeah,
It looks like an orange. Oh, so good.
it's great.
At the end of the Samaria Gorge, I wanted to ask you. So at the end of the Samaria Gorge, you know, there's like a little bar area. You
Yeah.
can buy beer.
Yeah,
You can buy an orange juice.
yeah,
Or you can buy an ice cream.
yeah.
What did you buy?
I think I've bought a lot of stuff. I bought beer, orange juice. I bought ice cream. I bought playing cards.
Okay, you bought everything.
I was like, I got like lunch. I was so hungry, thirsty, tired. I was like,
At the door, like just as you exit, you know.
just
as you exit.
Oh, I got a beer.
I got a beer. Okay.
I got a beer.
Because I was looking, there's only 3 things you
Yeah,
can buy.
yeah. Then in the town I bought
Yeah,
more shit. Yeah.
And the town.
But
yeah.
in the entrance, yeah.
You
and
bought a
then there's
beer?
like water. And
Yeah,
shit. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
I was
That was
looking.
the best beer I've ever had. Yeah.
It's so crazy. You could tell. There's 3 types of beer.
Yeah.
People buy beer.
Yeah.
People buy a freshly pressed orange juice because
Yeah.
oranges grow everywhere. And there's ice cream. Guess what I got?
Ice cream.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I got ice cream.
Wow. Nice.
Some people got the orange juice. Some people got beer. And it was like, oh, it's funny. It's like
Yeah.
there's something for everyone.
Oh yeah.
And then you walk all the way to the beach. And then I got to the beach. I got a Mythos beer. I'm like, oh, I gotta get a
Not
Mythos
bad,
beer.
eh?
Waiting for my ferry to take me back
Did
to.
you step on those rocks by the ocean? What are those, sea or whatever?
What do you mean?
So there's the beach. It's not a sandy beach. It's
Yeah.
like rock.
Yeah.
They're the hottest rocks on the planet.
Ah,
you
no.
can't even step on them.
I didn't
no
go to
one's
the
on the
beach.
It's like we tried. Let's go swimming, and it's like scalding hot rocks that like you can't. Nobody goes on the beach. You're like, oh, because they said there's a beach, so we brought our bathing suits.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, no, go swimming.
I met
Couldn't.
I met 2 French girls, very hot, and they went to the beach and they told me like I was happy for them, but it's crazy. You take the bus, so you take the ferry,
Yeah.
it stops you somewhere, and then I wanted to take a bus to go back to the mountain. Chaotic, like which bus do we take? Because I'm with the French girls, and for some reason like I became like, oh, he's the man. Like
yeah. You tell us.
you tell us where to go, and so we find a lady. I'm like, which bus takes us to this hotel? It's like all the buses except 52. I'm like, what a weird Greek system.
Where does 52
You can take
go?
all the buses, literally hundreds of buses. They all take that route except the 52. You can take all the buses
Where does 52?
except the 52. And she's like, of course, except the like. And we start making jokes. The French girls and I are like, well, of course. So all the buses except the 52. How dare you take the 52? What are you, stupid? You take all the buses. I swear, there's like 100 coach buses.
Yeah.
And all of them took the route 1 to 2 except the 52.
Jeez.
So yeah, I come back after the gorge. As I said, someone tries to get in my. Then I go do the route. I go to the Knossos Palace. The next day, I take the ferry. I return back the car. Man, I swear, man, driving. And when I return in the morning because I have like 8 in the morning the hotel, so I can get to the ferry at 9. So I'm driving. Let's put some music. So I'm putting like, and you have the people who live there, and they're on like on their scooters, and I'm driving like. Sometimes I'll go fast. I'm like, there was a moment I swear I made the guy, you could tell, but I'm driving and I have I got my hat blur
Yeah. Okay.
song too. So I have a woohoo. So I'm blasting Woohoo! I got my hat. I'm just driving. And it's 8 in the morning. I have the window open. I'm just enjoying the amazing view, the amazing road. And I see like an old 70 on his scooter. He just looks at me like, and all he could hear is like, woohoo!
That is like a car commercial right there, where it's like you're driving whatever, the Yaris, and it's some old man, and you're like, this is like what real the future is, and he's like in the past.
So fun. So fun. And then I returned the car. I returned the okay, so the guy's like, just leave it at the ferry, the guy. So I'm like, hey, I'm here. Where are you? He's like, you said 6 p.m. I'm like, no, I said 9 a.m. And then I sent him a photo of the contract. He's like, it's okay. Just leave the key under the thing.
You said 6 p.m.
I'm like, you have the contract. We said 9. It's funny. I park it somewhere. He's like, can you park it somewhere else? This is for evening parking. So I go back. I was on the way to get to the ferry. I go back. I move the car. No security. I could have bumped the car. He has no way to find me.
No, you could have somehow. I don't know.
I could have literally just back and
You
forth.
just drove it in the ocean.
You drove in the ocean. Brand new car, by the way. It had 5,000 kilometers on it.
Wow. And this is his car.
Well, I think it's his company car. I don't know. It's a it's a rent a place. Whatever.
Rent a petrol.
Never took my credit card. Just took cash and left. I left him the car. Took the ferry. The ferry was crazy on the way back because there was no internet. Oh, painful. So it's just you and your mind. Sometimes I would go upstairs, come down.
Damn, that sucks. 8 hours.
Yeah.
Oh, even the music
Sleep
saved.
a lot. To this day, I've been here in Montreal for 2 days.
Yeah.
I wake up, I'm like, am I on the ferry?
Yeah.
Because the ferry, you're half awake, half asleep.
Mm-hmm.
It's all felt like a dream, and you're a bit nauseous.
Yeah, okay.
'Cause you're sleeping and you're not. To this day, I wake up, I'm a bit nauseous.
Mm-hmm.
Because my brain, I'm like, oh, I'm still on the ferry, the whole shaking of the
Oh,
ferry.
8 hours on a boat.
Oh. It's a huge ferry, but still,
Yeah.
you feel, I was sitting all the way at the end next to the engine, so I could feel like the vibrations. That was intense. So yeah, last day, Athens. Oh yeah, listen to this. I told you this. So I'm like, all right. I land in Athens. I still have a day. I wanted to eat like a street gyro. I didn't want a souvlaki with a plate. I want a guy cutting the meat, eat it with the potato and I go to a place, it's closed. I to another place, I didn't recognize the meat. I'm like, ugh. And I find a place, perfect. I walk in. I love the kufta. What do you call it? It's like a lamb beef skewer meat, gyro.
Okay, yeah.
And I got the chicken, delicious. I'm like, oh, just full, super full. I go to my favorite shisha place in the gay quarter. I smoke a shisha. I missed the last metro, so I'm like, all right, I'm gonna walk. So I'm walking, and I'm flirting with a girl online. So I'm walking. I'm not really paying attention to my surroundings.
Oh.
It's a dark street.
Yeah.
Next to I'm walking and I see, and it's like couples making out in the dark. I'm like, oh, it's romantic. Just people making out. It's dark. It's midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning. It's late. And then I hear a guy talking loudly behind me on my phone. And for some reason, I took my phone and I put it in my pocket. And I'm walking, and I just feel someone grab my necklace, rip it, and I start like kiss. I curse in Arabic because I heard the guy speak Arabic. I think it was Arabic. And I turned. Someone stole my necklace, and like he looks and he heard me speak Arabic. We made eye contact, and he started running. And I look at him. I'm like, I just ate 2 euros. I smoked a shisha. I'm not gonna run after you.
And he's like a little scurrying
Forget
boy.
it. And he's in like thief shape. I'm in walking shape.
Yeah,
I've been walking.
Yeah, he's in
Thief shape.
running in the shadows.
And then I'm like, you know what? It's my fault. I shouldn't have worn gold. Que sera, you know, whatever. And then I get to the hotel. I'm like, I think I did a good thing not running after him, because the way these guys operate is that they'll steal something from you, and then you'll run after them. And you're in a city that you don't know. So the guy is zigzagging, and then one day you look, and at a certain point you look around, you're like, hey, I'm tired. I'm not in thief shape. And then his friends jump you, and this is where they take their phone, your credit card, your cash, your passport. I'm like, I did the right thing, not running after him. Laziness saved my life. Laziness saved my life. I'm like, oh, this is it.
That's wild. Well,
So-
sorry to hear that though.
It's okay. It was important for me because it was a gift from my mom.
Yeah.
But I still have my mom.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? Forget it. He can keep it. My mom is like, I'll give you another necklace. Don't worry about it.
Oh, okay.
But it's still
Yeah,
like,
I know.
I'll do this. I'm like, oh yeah, he stole it.
Oh,
So it's just you know.
bastard.
But it's so funny how like he took it. I'm like, he just didn't care it. Like the second he took it, I'm like, I'm not gonna run. Take it.
Yeah,
You know. It's crazy how like I cursed him in Arabic, and then like
yeah.
the guy literally could have taken it and just walked away. I'm like, all right. Nah, I guess it's yours now.
thanks for taking it.
All right.
Oh shit.
I'm like, I wasn't gonna run after him.
Yeah, and then so you got back to your room, and then I saw you in London. You were one of those hotel pods.
Yeah. So I because of the fact that I had to travel from Athens, I had like 16 hours in
Yeah, might as well just
in London. So I'm like, am I gonna go
back and forth.
to central London? I didn't want to stay in a hostel. I'm like, I'm done with
Yeah.
hostels. I'm done with. First of all, by the way, people should know this. Did you guys know that you can't flush toilet paper in Greece?
That's horrible. All over Greece, though, because I remember kind of doing that.
No, every toilet had a sign that says, "Do not flush toilet
Oh,
paper
no.
or tampons
But why
or
not?
anything in the
Whatever.
toilet."
Where's this?
Because here's the thing, we can flush it because construction companies are the mafia in Montreal. So that's why they keep breaking things and rebuilding it. That's why we have fresh, fresh every couple of years they redo something.
Okay, yeah.
Because the mob controls the construction.
Okay.
So we have like good
Yeah.
flushing toilet systems. They don't have that. The mob controls something else, I guess, over there.
Yeah.
So they have old sewer pipes that are not made for toilets.
Yeah.
So you can't flush toilet paper. It blocks everything. So I mean, I always used water, but still, sometimes I use toilet paper to dry up.
A little bit.
And I'm like, and here's the thing. So here's what people do. This is insane in Greece. Normal people who don't use water like me to wash their ass, they and then they wipe with toilet paper, and then with the shitty toilet, they have to wrap it in other toilet paper, and then there's a garbage bag, like a garbage can, right next to it where you put your used toilet paper. It blows my mind that not a single person have thought of using a bidet.
Yeah.
Like all these toilets should be should
there
have a
be
bidet.
bidets. If you're not gonna use toilet paper, might as well use something.
If your system does not allow,
Yeah.
what the
No, that's stupid. That's so crazy.
crazy. So anyways, so I'm like, all right. I get to Gatwick. I'm like, okay, I need to book a hotel. If I book downtown a hotel, it's like 80 pounds or 60 pounds. Plus, it's about 25
Yeah.
pounds going back and forth from Gatwick to central London. So I'm like, screw this. So I booked a really cool. You probably guys might have seen this. It's like a pod hotel room at the airport. So it's a shower, toilet, little desk, a bed that is like higher level, and the room next to it, the bed is lower level. You know what I mean? So it's like a Lego piece.
Yeah.
It was 100 pounds.
Oh, okay.
You know, not cheap.
Yeah, but you're you're right there.
But through Expedia, I tried booking through the hotel.
Yeah.
It's like 267 pounds.
What?
It's insane. I don't know why it was so expensive. So I'm like, oh, I get to experience something new.
Yeah.
It's so funny to be at an airport because I drop my things. I'm like, I'm just gonna go walk around. So I'm like, I'm being a tourist in Gatwick Airport.
You're like,
I'm like, everyone is stressed, running to their gate, and I'm just like,
so wait, wait, hold on. Wait. So you go through security and then you're in the hotel?
well, you're in the your arrivals. You get out, you go to the hotel. It's in the arrivals.
Oh, so just before security.
Yeah.
Right,
Well,
or-
if you want to go back and
I guess you
departure,
can go back and forth. Yeah.
I stayed in the Gatwick is huge, so even the arrival section is
yeah,
humongous.
Yeah.
There's like 3,500 restaurants,
Yeah.
boutiques, and everything. So I'm just walking around, being a tourist at Gatwick Airport.
Looking around.
And then I went back and I just like watched a movie and just scrolled and I just took a shower, passed out. It's great. If you have like I could have just spent if I landed at 4 p.m. Honestly, and the plane was at 11 a.m. the next day. If I have landed at like 8 p.m.,
Yeah.
I think I would have just slept on the. I would have spent the time outside, like just among the commoners.
Yeah.
But I'm like, ugh, you know what? I'm just gonna book a hotel.
Yeah,
Plus,
yeah,
you know,
makes sense.
interesting experience.
Yeah. Just I know we're almost what time are we at? Oh my God, we did an hour 20 minutes.
All right, so that's my trip, guys.
Oh damn. Well, if I remember this next week, I'll say some stuff that I don't really.
Oh yeah, it's true. Gabe also had a life.
I don't.
But guys,
Yeah.
thank you. Guys, please come to all the shows from now on because my budget was planned for a third world country and I ended up going to a second world country. So my bank account is officially at zero. So you come to all my shows so I can have saved money so I can go to Gabe's wedding next
Oh
year.
yeah. Oh shit, my wedding.
Because so far, I don't think I'm going to go to your wedding, Gabe. If I don't start making twice what I made last year.
Yeah, that's
So guys,
brutal.
come to the show, subscribe, tell your friends. Shout out to I found out Sarah listens to the podcast. My friend Sarah. Shout out to Sarah, who's a fan. Yeah, guys, thank you for listening. Subscribe. We love you very much. I love you, Eugene. Come back next week. Bye, everybody.
Mwah.
Mwah.